Welcome to Laguna Seca in the BMW. With this race being 20 minutes long, hard tyres seem to be the optimal choice and doing a no-stop strategy. Unbeknown to me, hard tyres turned out to be the saving grace of this race overall, as we'll come to find out in a very short moment. Yep, going off track flash is really not optimal, especially at the start of a race. No idea why. The sad fact about going off track is almost put me in last position, besides two cars that are behind me at the moment. Coming round for turn 3, a little bit of funkiness is going on, but we've gained a place. And we're going to get ourselves tucked up behind a reddish soup. So, what soup could that be? Could be tomato soup, it could be... not too sure, let me know down below of other reddish soups. We're going to be losing another position to the yellow Corvette to our right hand side. Following them is the BMW, who for some reason is either eating a packet of crisps through this race or doesn't stop talking. Well, that was not a bad corner overall, especially considering the position we're in. Two victims. For some reason I'm ghosted and still ghosted, and everybody's just walking through me like I don't exist, which is fair enough. I mean, I am Casper at the moment. Interestingly enough though, this seems to be one of the worst race starts I've had in a very long time. Although I haven't been punted off track, finishing the end of lap 1 at position 20 is really not ideal, especially if you're doing a no-stop strategy. You really need to be further up the list to actually benefit from said no-stop strategy. Fast forwarding on, things start to develop in our favour as Reddish Soup misjudges this corner here and goes gravel castle building. Overall, we've gained a couple of places, which I don't think is too bad. P17 doing rather well. Donbot is still chatting in the game, not a clue what they're saying because they are muted, but for some reason the game still shows me that they're talking. They might not actually be talking, they could be just eating or breathing obnoxiously into the microphone for some reason. You never know these days. Gaining another position and trying to find our way or find our feet, losing that said gain position to the car on the right, given the space in that corner. Contact has been made, but thankfully we came out in one piece. Coming up to this next corner here, braking just before the 200 board. And thankfully coming out the other side in one piece, no more battling with Hagrid behind us. Things get a bit more interesting as we come out this corner now. There's a few cars in the gravel pit and one almost got sent into it, so again we've gained a few more places. Overtaking Cola Game, well, looking to make a move, to be honest. It wasn't going to work, but it did put them off ever so slightly, and we managed to make our way through the corkscrew out the other side and gain that position. Porsche has a moment by themselves, flies off the track, and I managed to take a further 2 positions from that alone. Absolutely brilliant. Coming up to position 11. What's not so brilliant is slipping my big butt off the curb, gaining a 0.2 second penalty for having a large behind. And I really don't think that's fair, because there's no way I gained while slipping off the track. And fair enough if I got a penalty for off track, but it says off track time gained. No time was gained from having a larger rear end. I think that kind of mentality is discriminatory to the BMW. Let me know how you feel down in the comments below, but I hope that some of you may agree. Things are starting to settle down a little bit in this race now, and we're going to lose a position to Reddish Soup, whilst Cola Game gets very friendly to the back end of this car whilst I'm in the corner. You're not going to be able to hit the apex when I'm on the apex. It just doesn't work. Thing is though, it comes to bite me back again in a moment, because we're going to come around this apex here. There's a little kiss, more of a kiss, push, 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 and then pushes me off the track. So yeah, that seemed to be totally fair. Worst part of it is I don't think they actually got a penalty for it as well, which is really frustrating. There's just no need for it. Although we are down to position 12, these two cars up in front do end up having a really intense battle. I've been watching this unfold for the past lap. just from a distance, to be honest with you, and you're going to see why in a moment, because it was really unexpected of how this actually turns out, and it was quite comical as well at the same time. This is why I keep a distance. When I see cars battling quite heavily, I just sit back and watch and let it unfold, let it sort itself out. There's no need to introduce a third party into the mix to cause further disruption, because you yourself might end up being at the losing end of the said stick. Coming to the top of the corkscrew, they do meet each other very close. Coming out the other side though, not too sure, but the pink car lost. This is the crucial part of the race now, to understanding who are on the hard tyres and who were on the medium tyres. Looking at the leaderboard, position 1 is 31 seconds ahead. It takes 50 odd seconds to pit at this track. So with that in your head, when they come back to pits, we will hopefully be just over 20 seconds ahead of them. With that in mind, we are 2/3 through this race, which is crucial, because if you think about it, we've lost about 10 seconds-ish every 2 or 3 laps. Hopefully we'll only lose approximately that over these 4 laps and still be ahead at the end. And that's the crucial part, is to really mapping it out to make sure that you are still ahead towards the end of the race. But the problem is with that is, whilst they are on fresher tyres, your tyres are massively degrading. I mean, coming up to the end of lap 20, we are still in position 4, but we do have one more car in the pits. So they've probably gone hard and then are going to soft tyres. Again, they're still going to be in that pit for approximately 50 seconds. The closest car behind us is 9 seconds away, and they haven't pitted yet. So we are in for a chance to holding on to this position 3, providing I don't do a terrible corner like that again. It really is crucial at the earlier part of the race to try and tyre save as much as you can, because it matters so much at the end of the race. And you can see now, coming up to the start of lap 14, all my tyres are on minor wear. We're going to be able to make this race towards the end and not fall off said minor wear, but you can see now position 4 is 15 seconds away. Although French Fries in position 1 is now 34 seconds away, we've only actually lost 3 seconds from them per lap, which is pretty good overall, especially considering I did a corner like that as well. Really not ideal. Just got on that power a little bit too eagerly, a little bit too early. Position 4 has just been overtaken by Supra, who is still 14 seconds away, and they have pitted. So we still have a 14-second buffer towards the end of this lap, which is really ideal, I'm not gonna lie. But it's still one accident, one mistake away from taking the podium finish from us, and that is also something you have to bear in mind. Braking for the corkscrew for the final time. Position 1 has just crossed that line. Awful corkscrew flash. Absolutely awful. Look at the disappointment in my face there. Trying to battle this car. 43% remaining, 42% remaining on the rear tyres, which means they're not far away from clicking onto moderate wear, and the drop off is insane. I'm not going to lie there. Probably could have done with a bit more rear end downforce, just to try and settle the rear of this car down, but we do still finish with a podium position, which is absolutely brilliant. Awesome. And this is why I say the saving grace was choosing hard tyres overall, because considering the first lap, look at it now, finishing on a podium position, absolutely insane. And actually quite a few people did also quit the race, which I think is also handy. Before we move on to Mugello, where we are again in the BMW, I'd like to take a moment out to thank our channel members, which are Andy Good, Sigmatic, Daniel Adams, Crazy 8, AK47 and Spectral Rain. Thank you guys ever so much for supporting the channel, and if you would like to be part of this leaderboard, hit that join button down below, and don't forget the link for the Discord is also in the description. Moving on to Mugello, where again we are in the BMW. I'm not too sure, but for some reason rolling start, still everybody crashes into each other. If the AI behind us are having a right moment. Starting off in position 9 though. Lost it already. Let's go down to 10. Maybe 11th. I think we had an awful start to the race. We are getting absolutely bundled into turn one, so I'm actually going to brake early, try and save a bit of grace and not end up like all the cars to my left come out the other side in one piece, which is really ideal for turn one. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did at the Laguna Seca, but thankfully we have actually gained a few positions because we are now position 8, so lost a few, gained a few, settling down, and hopefully with this train of cars really up in front, a bit more shenanigans may happen and we'd be able to capitalize on said situations. Absolutely insane dive bomb from the BMW in front, and somehow they actually managed to pull it off, which really shocked me, so credit where credit's due. And great reactions from the Dodge Viper as well, who managed to avoid a situation there as well. I think kind of knew it was coming and really watched out for it, to be honest. Gonna have a Ferrari breathing all over us now, a little bit of contact from the rear end, although the proximity radar had no idea it was about to happen. Again, getting a little bit of a nudge, elbowed out of the way to an extent, and then for some reason quit the race. Totally worth it. Really, I just don't know what to say sometimes. Okay, let's reset, assess what's going on, try and catch up to the pack of cars up in front. That one went deep in the gravel pits and try and regain some composure, let's be honest. Cola Game, as you remember from the last race who pushed me off the track, was looking to make a move on the outside, sends it up the inside of turn 1, but I'm gonna let them take that, hopefully be able to gain a switch back and stay side by side into turn 2 and 3. Wasn't meant to be though, had another bit of contact, so I'm gonna try and tuck in behind them and just wait out my opportunities for a moment and see how things turn out, because this car is certainly a lot faster than most others, considering I have very little rear downforce, and it really does actually help out on this run here. You can just get into the slipstream of other cars and absolutely send it, surviving turn 1 with actual zero contact from Cola Game behind, which I think is really good. That's a step up from what every other race has been up to now with said driver. 2 and 3, all in one piece. A little bit of rear end happiness, lost a little bit of pace from the cars up in front, which only opens the door for Cola Game to be able to capitalize upon that. Coming around here now, again losing a little bit of pace, not as bad as that BMW though. That BMW lost a lot of pace, and thankfully to the accident that happens in front of us, where the car is actually facing the wrong way, it put Cola Game off, which only benefits us because now they've gone gravel castle building themselves, which relieves a lot of pressure from behind from said driver. Right now you can see they are almost 3 seconds away, and we're actually catching up to Touring Moon 7856 in the Aston up in front. Although I don't know if we're going to be able to keep pace with that car. We're going to have to try our best here because we have a great lead from the cars behind, and hopefully keeping up with the cars up in front will exacerbate that situation and just keep us away from any firing lines from the people behind us. Thankfully the Ferrari does go gravel castle building, so again that is another position gained. We only have a couple of cars ahead of us. We're up to position 5, but I think this is going to be the pinnacle lap where we are going to need to pit because we are on medium tyres. I'm 90% sure you can't do hard no stop here, not without the last lap or the last 2 laps being absolutely horrific. I mean, we're only 1 second away from the Porsche up in front and only 4.1 seconds away from position 1, so we have every chance to turn this around. We also have every chance of losing. We're jumping into the bits, get another set of medium tyres, out the other side we go. Only 2 cars have not stopped. That could mean they are on hard tyres, or it could mean that they're extending this stint for 1 more lap, possibly going on to soft tyres themselves after that. I'm not too sure if that's the right play to make. End of lap 7, we'll have 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 laps at this track on soft tyres. I'm not too sure if it would make it. Thing is, with Ordinal Nest catching up to us, we're going to be under a little bit of pressure, so I have to try and get up to the pack of cars up in front. With a little bit of contact, Corvette did lose a set situation, so I'm going to back out, let them regain their composure and see if we can overtake them in this next corner here as they're still having a bit of a moment. I'm up the inside, they turn in, and then get sent off the gravel castle build. Please let me know down in the comments below if you think I'm at fault for sending them off the track, or was that self-inflicted? Honestly, I'm on the fence about that one because it's a really weird situation that really wasn't all that expected, to be honest. I thought we could go side by side all the way through, but it was not the case. Losing the position to Ordinal Nest, getting it back thanks to Ordinal Nest. Oh dear me, honestly, the gravel bits are absolutely ruthless in this game. It's unreal. At least we're on to P5 though. Just need to keep up with Ordinal Nest up in front with their 2-second penalty, and we might be in a shot for actually gaining position 4. Although, shame. I thought Hacksaw was sent that far off the track and might not actually be able to regain, so I would have actually had a podium finish if I kept up with Ordinal Nest. But it wasn't meant to be. Hopefully though, me and Hacksaw will be able to work together a little bit and actually try and catch up with Ordinal Nest and the person they are battling up with up in front. You never know. Or I might actually lose all momentum from Hacksaw, as you can see it has happened. 2 seconds away from that car. I am not going to even try and pronounce position 4 name, as Hacksaw has managed to overtake them. One name has popped up on the leaderboard, although they are 3 seconds away, does make me worry ever so slightly. Cola Game. Cola Game is back in contention. Now, yes, they are 3.3 seconds away, 3.4 right now. Still 1 or 2 incidents away from breathing all over us, and that is something we do not need. So hopefully, I'm going to say Maverick or something, whatever position 4's name is. Let me know down in the comments below, because you guys know I'm absolutely terrible at hieroglyphics like this. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up to them, gain a bit of slipstream, and get away from Cola Game. Oh, by the looks like someone's overtaken Cola Game, that's fine. Oh dear, where are we going? Flash, the Mugello curbs can bite you. Please stop riding every curb on every corner. That was a lesson learnt, and frustratingly enough, stunned 8896 is now only 1.2 seconds away. It's actually cost us that incident there 4 seconds. Absolutely insane. And I don't understand it, because the car literally just bounced over and turned right. Yeah, make of that as what you will, but I guess it is what it is. Thankfully though, they are rocking a 0.1 second penalty. This is our final corner, and it is just a drag race to the end, where this BMW is going to shine its party piece in the power department, and we're going to just lead away to the racing line. Finishing off in position 5, absolutely insane race overall, I've got to be honest. It was a blast. Well, thank you all for watching. See you all next time.